Hi angels. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about sensuality and why it is so important for spirituality and how being so mindful, so present, so embodied, so sensual in your body is not only a divine feminine superpower of ours, but just how it can help you in everyday life, how it can show up for you, why it's important, what blocks our sensuality, and just how you can bring it into your everyday lifestyle. Because girls, like, this can help us so much in living our lives to our absolute fullest potential, to bring into our lives what we want, to having a really beautiful life experience and just feel the pleasure of being in your body and how amazing it feels to be in your body. It was funny, I said to how this come about, I said to Tom on the weekends, I said to him, I fucking love being in my body right now. And he just looked at me and he just kind of smiles. And I said, I kind of pictured in my mind, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Soul. It's a Disney cartoon. If you haven't seen it, it's an animated movie. It is beautiful. You absolutely want to watch that movie. And in the movie, the Disney movie Soul, I won't go into the whole thing. You have to watch it. But this lost soul comes into the world and she gets to experience it through Joe, he's like a musician. She gets to experience it through his body. And it's like when this soul gets into the body for the first time, she's like, I can't remember exactly what she's doing, but I just remember, visions, pictures of it, where she's like dancing, she's feeling, she's like touching things, like touching nature, eating, I think it was a hamburger or a hot dog, like eating, and just feeling this beautiful, joyful feeling of being in a physical body. And that's what kind of pictured, like, what went through my mind. And I said to Tom, I'm just so happy to be in my body. I love what it feels like to be in my body, and I'm just really enjoying the most amazing life experiences. He doesn't fully get it, like he understands. But what I've learnt over the years, I feel like we're like a soul having a human physical experience. And this is just what I believe, like we've come into this life experience to feel what it feels like. We need a physical vessel to embody our senses, to see, to smell, to hear, to taste, to touch. Like we need a body to do that. And if we're light, energy, soul, whatever you want to interpret it as, you can't do those things. Like you need the physical to be able to have that life experience and feel what it feels like to be in our body. But we've lost a lot of that because we're busy, we've got so much going on in the world around us, we're living in this rat race, we're constantly doing, striving, achieving, pushing, like have pressure, that we're just surviving. And many people find that they're just living in a survival mode and they're not actually thriving and they're not actually feeling the blissfulness of life or feeling the pleasures in life or feeling the joy, giving themselves the time to just stop and just feel the sun's rays on your skin, because we feel like we don't have time or we've got other places that are more important to be or things to do. And I want to help shift that for you today. I want to help you really understand the gift that we have having this earthly experience in this physical body. And we have one body to get us through life, girls. And I look at it this way. I look at it like we can take care of our body, we can love on it, we can nurture it, we can nourish it, we can use it to our full advantage to live our most incredible life experience. Or we can spend the rest of our life like neglecting ourselves, not taking care of ourselves, rushing through life, not seeing the beautiful pleasures of life, not taking life in, and get to the end of our life and go, what was the point of it all? Like, what was the purpose in that? I actually spent so much of my life trying to work and survive that I didn't actually enjoy it. So I want to get on here today and say, enjoy it now. It's not too late. Like, let's start really enjoying it now, because I feel like we come into the world as babies, as toddlers. Like, I spent the weekends with my little niece and nephew. We were out jet skiing. They come here in their pajamas to borrow Tom's trailer and just never went home and stayed here with us all day. Well, their parents came, and then they just loved being here and they hung out with us. We took them out on the jet ski. We went over to the islands behind us over at South Stratty, and we just run up the sand dunes, and we're picking up crabs, and we're collecting shells. We were like smelling flowers. We were feeling the wind on our hair in the jet ski. We were just really being so present and so mindful. And well, I was, but the kids just live like that, right? So the kids kind of, you come into this world and you have this childlike curiosity. You want to explore, you want to, often as parents we can say, just hurry up, let's go. They'll ask questions and you're like, oh, just because we got to keep going, right? And if you stop and actually look at the world through child's eyes, they take it all in and they have this curiosity and they really enjoy the pleasure of life, of beauty, of stuff around them and being in their body, and they're like inquisitive, and it's so cool. Then what happens is we get older, we get life pressures, we have to work, we have to earn money, we have to survive, like we get these pressures that we soon forget what it is like to have that childlike curiosity and that childlike embodiment of being in the human experience. And then some of us will remember and bring elements of that back to our life, and some of us will forget and not even remember and just spend the whole of life just doing and rushing. And I really want to help you understand today to make some changes to really discover your body deeply. Like as I podcast for you now, I'm on my jetty, because some of you are probably listening. I'm on my jetty. I've got a beautiful, one of my lovely Kavari dresses on, one of my beautiful dresses. It's got flowers on it. It's really pretty. It's really feminine. The fabric's nice. It feels really beautiful. And I thought, if I'm going to share this with you today, I want to feel like a goddess. I want to feel really lovely in what I'm wearing, really lovely in my skin, and really flowy, because often I'm down here in my active wear, which I still feel good in, but in my active wear with a hat on. And I just want to feel a little bit more flowy today. And as it turned out, like the tide is super high. It is like glass out on the water. There's there's boats going past. There's just a gentle sun. Kira, my dog's out here with me, as she always is when I podcast. I've been giving her a pat. And I'm just looking around going, this is epic. Like, this is what I'm talking about, girls. Feeling lovely in ourselves, feeling like a goddess, feeling beautiful in your skin, embodying the moment. And I feel really lovely. I don't have like tons of makeup on. I've got some nice little pieces of jewelry that I love, just some simple layers of gold chains, which make me feel really nice. And I've got this fragrance on my skin that I got in Bali. It's like a skin, they call it like a skin aura I get when we go to the waterfalls. And it just smells so good. And I'm just really feeling so embodied in my environment, embodied in my body, and just feeling really lovely. And I thought I want to feel that way when I share with you and when I podcast with you, to really capture the energy of how I am feeling and speak from a place of authenticity. And I believe that I'm in my 40s now, like I'm 47, and I went through a period too where I kind of, you get just engrossed in life, like the busyness of life, working, raising kids. And as I've gotten a little bit older, over the last since my 40s, I started to get more connected to my body, and just progressively a little bit more. And now I feel so deeply embodied and so present with my body. And this is what I want to help you discover. It's a bit noisy. There's a really noisy boat behind me. And this is what I want to help you start to pay attention to, because sensuality, don't confuse it with sexuality. Sensuality is feeling your senses deeply, feeling the body deeply, being present in your body, paying deep attention to the physical body, to the physical world around us, using your senses to experience this, like this holiness, like this wholeness, this completeness. Yeah, that's kind of this complete, I can't even get it out, but you know what I mean, feeling complete. And it provides, I feel like the body, it provides, like, when you're so sensual, it provides a direct embodied way to experience the divine, to experience spirit through our senses and through our body, because it connects the physical and the spiritual realms together and really helps you foster this deep presence. And the sensuality, I like to think of it like it's a powerful life force from which, like, your creativity springs from, your desires spring from. And when you can become so fully engaged with life, like, I'll give you an example. So this place that we live in now, this house that we live in now, we've stepped back to a lot more of a simpler lifestyle. I mean, yes, we're on the water. Yes, we've got like a beautiful long jetty. But a few years back, I started to feel I just love sunrises and I love being out in nature. And I would, on my walks, I would get glimpses of the sunrise on my walks through the suburbs. I lived in the suburbs. And I just thought to myself, it gave me, like, feeling the senses on my skin, it gave me a desire to go, I want to wake up and I want to fully embody the sunrise. I want to see the sunrise when I wake up. I want to feel more connected to nature. So getting more connected to nature in little snippets throughout my day-to-day life. I mean, I still had my PT business back then. I was kind of getting into the studio, but being more connected with my senses, it made me understand what I want. So it kind of gave me that spark or that desire. This is how I want to live. I want to live more connected to nature. I want to live more present. I want to live more somewhere where I can really embody nature surroundings. And I love the water. I just love the water. I love the way it makes me feel. So from a sensuality point of view, the water makes me feel calm. The water, I love getting in salt water. It cleanses my skin and it's like a healing property. I want to be near the water, and Tom felt the same way. So being sensual connected us with this desire of where we want to live and how we want our home environment to feel like. And it created this like spark in us that then led to a whole series of events. Go back to my previous podcast episodes in the 50-something podcast range around how we manifested this house. So, but a lot of it come back to sensuality of how we wanted to feel, not so much what we wanted our house to look like or what it needed from an ego point of view. It's how we wanted to feel in our home environment, which come from our sensuality. And I find that like your purpose can also come when you're ready to come alive, like when you really get so connected with yourself and you really find how you want to live and what's important to you and what you value, and get so connected with your senses, it can create this spark of purpose can come to you. And that's what I want to touch on in this episode as well, is how sensuality can create a way of life where you're more embodied, you're more present, you're more mindful, you're more in love with life, you're more in love with this blissful state of life, you're more in love with your body, what it feels like to be in your body, but also how it can create more creativity in you, more sense of, it can get you connected back to the root of who you are and what you want and what's important to you and what you value, which then can turn into giving you more clarity around your desires and your purpose and what you want to do in life. So don't discount the simplicity of sensuality and what it can create on a bigger scale. But I want to take you back to the basics today in how you can bring some of this sensuality into your life, but also why it's important. And I feel like with sensuality, it kind of transcends the ego. Like the ego is like that physical, we live in this physical world, we get conditioned certain ways, we feel like our ego wants to keep us safe, our ego wants us to almost like not be, our ego is kind of a little bit selfish, if you want to think of it that way. It wants to like really protect us, keep us safe, but it also wants to create separation from people. And separation can come from, I've got this, or competition, like competing, striving, keeping up, like, you know, I want to have this because someone else has got it, status, title, ego, all that kind of things can really disconnect us from our soul. And I find that sensuality, getting so deeply connected with your senses, helps you transcend the ego and helps you temporarily dissolve the ego and reveal a state of blissful being. It helps you become more present. It helps you live more fully. It helps you deepen the bond with yourself, deepen the bond with nature, but also deepen the bond with people, with relationships, with love. Like, we came here to love. We came here to be this fully expressed version of ourselves. We came here to have relationships with people, to I feel like with sensuality, it helps you go beyond the words, the thinking mind, the logic, and it creates this shared language of connection between people, like between our own soul, like our own soul self, but also between other souls. And it really helps you to deepen this bond of life, deepen this connection of what it feels like to live this life and be in your body and be in nature and be with people And you discover more of that when you get connected back to your senses. And I love, like, I'm even teaching the kids, and it's been a bit of a work in progress. Like, I always say to Riley and Brock, I go, I can't wait to get my hands on my grandkids, man. Like, I am going to, the wisdom that I have now, I'm going to teach my grandkids, because I missed it when I was still a good mum, don't worry, they're not deprived, they're fine. But I missed a lot of this when I was stuck in that 20s, 30s, being in my mind. And I started to discover it more the older I got, and the more I dove into this yoga, spiritual, I guess, awareness, that I can't wait to teach this to my grandkids on a whole other level. But we only know what we know. We know where we are now. And even now, in the last few years, I'm teaching my kids to embody sensuality. I'm teaching them to appreciate beautiful things. And I'll see it pop up in my kids sometimes. Like Brock said to me the other day, he rings me from his man cave. He says, Mum, do you want to come and watch the sunset with me? He was going to go up to just around the corner from us, this nice kind of hill. And he said, do you want to come with me? I like dropped dinner, turned the stove off, ran down, jumped in the car and went with him. I'm like, man, he's asking me to come with him. One, I'm going to go with it. And two, he's noticing something in nature that he's taking in, which is a very kind of essential practice. I mean, he still wanted to get some photos of his four-wheel drive on the sunset too, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to go with him. And he'll send me photos sometimes of, even Riley, they'll send me photos or say, hey, have you seen the moon tonight? Or check out this sunrise or this sunset. So I'm really starting to help them become more present. So what you learn, you teach your kids. And I find with sensuality, why it's important is it creates this powerful path of self-acceptance and healing, because it creates more self-awareness of what it feels like to be in your body. It helps you understand your emotions. It helps you know what you want, what you like. It helps you connect with your body's intuitive knowing. It helps strengthen and build this trust in yourself, because when you get more connected with yourself, your senses, you start to trust yourself more than what other people or exterior circumstances or environments say and make you feel around outside of yourself. It helps you build this trust in yourself, and it gets you more connected with your body, which I'll dive into in a moment how. I find it helps you reduce stress. It helps you reduce anxiety, tension, pressure. Like, I'll give you an example. So like after Women's Circle, and you can feel heightened being in an environment where there's lots of energies going around, lots of people going, around you. Even yesterday, we were at Tom's uncle's funeral, lots of people. I will come back and I will do something sensual. So like yesterday, I come back, I just got barefoot, took a few breaths outside. I might use my sage just to help release some energies from other people, or just this heaviness or this busyness in my mind from all the chatter. After Women's Circle, I'll come home, I'll get barefoot out on the grass. I might just stand under the moon and take a few breaths. It'll take me 5 minutes. Clear, go back inside. So it helps you release, it helps you let go, it helps you clear, it helps find this calm state, it helps you slow down, it helps you become more present, it helps you become a little bit more relaxed. And which in turn helps with your health, it helps with your wellness, it helps like with your vitality is activated. So it helps you from a health and wellness perspective as well. Another reason I believe that sensuality is important, it helps you manifest. And manifestation is like a key word that's thrown around, but something I've been doing, or I've been aware of since my 30s, around the law of attraction, the law of vibration, the law of energy. When you're more sensual, it helps you get connected to vibration. It helps you get connected to energy. It helps you get connected to nature, to presence. And then what happens is you start to learn what you want, what you don't want. You start to get more confidence in yourself. It raises your vibration. It helps you feel good, because you're living more in a state of feeling good, feeling present, living in a state of gratitude. That what happens, you start to become more confident in yourself. You start to become more aware of yourself. You like ooze this confidence. And when you have more confidence and self-awareness and self-belief and like an understanding, a knowing, a clarity in yourself, what happens is you start to raise your vibration. So it starts to bring more of what you want into your life. And you walk through the world with this new level of confidence when you're more, because sensuality as a woman, it's really attractive, right? And it's really, it doesn't matter what you look like, it's how you feel. So it gets you more connected with feeling, with more emotion, with what it feels like to be you, that you can't help radiate confidence, you can't help radiate sex appeal, you can't help radiate like this beautiful aura, this beautiful energy that it's actually desirable. And it's a really confident building way to get more of what you want in life, attract people, attract circumstances, be turned on by life, be turned on by yourself. Like it's almost like this pathway to leadership, this pathway to manifestation, this pathway to success, this pathway to like confidence and just knowing who you are, what you want, why you want it, and just helps align you with it and bring it into your reality. So sensuality will help you on the path to manifestation, my friends. It helps you become more full of life. It helps you become more passionate, more creative, more embodied, which also helps you manifest, which also helps you live a more blissful state of being. It also helps you bring more of what you want into your life. It just helps you on so many levels. I'm like, why would you not want to get connected with your senses? It helps you become instinctive. It helps you become intuitive. It helps you become wise. It helps you become embodied. And that is fucking powerful, girls. Like it is so powerful to live from this sensual state of being. So that's why I believe, look, there's probably plenty more reasons, but just kind of quickly why I believe it's important. And it helps you get through life, but not just from a point of getting what you want in life, but from a point of being so connected with life, connected with the beauty of life, loving yourself, like really having your best life experience. And isn't that what it's about? Like, I fully believe that that's what it's about. We came here to embody life and to have our best, most beautiful life experience. So wouldn't you want to get more connected to your senses to help you with that? I've got notes today to keep me on track because I could talk about this for such a long time. What I wanted to go into next is, I guess, like what blocks us from our sensuality. So if you think of sensuality as your senses, like your five senses, but also your sixth sense, your higher senses, your higher chakras, and really being what it feels like to be in your body. So it's not a sexuality, it's more like a sensuality to be present in your body, okay? So what can block you from this presence in your body? What can block you from getting connected to your senses? What can block you or stop you or limit you from being more sensual? I feel that all women secretly desire to be sensual. You know, when you see a movie, right? Or you might see a woman, I look at it this way. Sometimes you see like these beautiful, I love cultural experiences. You might see these beautiful cultural women, let's just go like South American, Colombian, I don't know, Spanish, Latino type vibes. And you see the way they dance, you see the way they move, you see the way that they have this beautiful, the way they move their hips. And I think every woman likes the idea of being more sensual or thinks, I wish I could be a little bit more like that. I wish I could dance like that. I wish I could move like that. I wish I could. And we look at other women who are maybe a little bit more sensual, a little bit more soft, a little bit more feminine, a little bit more confident, a little bit more powerful. And there's a part of us that are a little bit more desirable. And that all comes from energy. It's not what you look like. It's not what your body fat percentage is. It's not what dress size you are. It's not how skinny you are. Like all of this is an energy, an internal radiance and internal energy that shines through, right? Irrespective of physical appearances, size, shape, all of those things that society might measure you on, condition you on, chuck all that shit out the window, right? Sensuality and confidence and energy comes from within. It's this radiance that comes from within. And I feel like all women have this desire to be a little bit more sensual, but they might believe, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not perfect enough, my body doesn't look good enough, I'm not a sensual woman. You might have this belief like, I'm just not sensual. It's not who I am. I wasn't raised like that. You might have shame around your body. You might have this feeling around your body of it's too fat. I've got cellulite. I've got scars. I've got acne. I've got all those things that we are not true, girls, but we are led to believe, or we allow ourselves to believe these things, that all of a sudden we put this aura out, this energy out, this block out, this limiting belief, this wall up to go, I'm not sensual, I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful enough. You might have shame around your body. You might have, maybe it was the way you were conditioned, or maybe it was the way that you were brought up, where, and there's no disrespect, there's no shame in this. It could be trauma that happened to you when you were younger, things that were said to you at school. It could be the way your parents brought you up, people, women that you were hanging around. It could be this shame, like you're not allowed to be sensual because it's seen as being too sexy or slutty, or, it's just to get attention by the opposite sex. And it is not, girls. Or you might be taught that, it's a means of undermining your intelligence, and you might have been brought up to really value your intellect and disconnect from your body. Like, every woman is sensual if she chooses to be, if she chooses to claim her body, if she chooses to make a decision to, I want to explore, I want to experiment, I want to give myself permission to be a little bit more sensual, I want to dabble in it, I want to feel a bit of curiosity about it. And we can all do this, girls, but sometimes it's hard because of the way we're brought up, or the way we're conditioned, or our beliefs, or the environments that we might be sitting in now with our family, with our friends, with our work environment. All of these things shape your reality and shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your reality, right? So I want to open you up today to have curiosity and just have this, let go of the blocks about what it means to be sensual, or you're not good enough, or you're not beautiful enough, or your body's not good enough, or you've got shame in your body. Every woman has I believe every woman's allowed to be sensual. Every woman's allowed to love on her body. Every woman's allowed to feel beautiful in her body. Every woman is allowed to feel what it feels like to be in her body, and fully embody what it feels like to be in your body, regardless of all of the things that we have been taught, conditioned, been raised to believe. Let it all go now, and just take on board what I'm sharing, interpret it in your own way, take out of it what you want. But let's try and let go of those blocks, or what's been in the past, and look at this from a new perspective, a new lens of what I want moving forward. I also believe, like, things that we do in our day-to-day life block our sensuality. I want you to think like drugs, antidepressants, alcohol, toxic habits, fast foods. We've been conditioned for this quick fix, this instant gratification. If something's wrong, we go to the doctor, we get a pill to fix it. And what a lot of that can often do is block our senses, or put us into this non-feeling state, because it changes chemical, like alcohol and drugs and things like that. Like, they change what goes on in your brain. It's almost like it blocks your sensuality. It stops you from really feeling what it feels like to be in our body. And that can be like from the foods you're eating, the sugar, the wine you have every night, like all of these things that you put into your body. Not only does it put on weight, not only does it affect your energy, not only does it make you feel, unhealthy, not well, gross in your body, lack confidence, it also affects your spirituality and your connection with spirit, your connection with the divine, your connection with the world around you, because we're layering our body with so many toxins. So when you clean up your body, clean up your lifestyle, you find you want to nourish your body a little bit more. You get more connected to yourself from this pure whole state. And beautiful whole foods, nourishing your body, raises your vibration and really helps you to get more connected energetically with food, with nature, and it connects us more deeply with ourselves when we're nourishing our body with these good, healthy, clean, live foods, lots of water. All of these things get us more connected to ourselves, more connected to nature, and more connected with our senses. You start to notice how foods make you feel. That's a whole other topic I could go into, but just be aware of what toxic habits you're allowing to come into your body, your lifestyle, because they will affect and they will block your sensuality. Another one is fear, embarrassment, like worrying what people think. Too afraid to get out of our comfort zone, too afraid to try new things. Like we've got so many inhibitions. And like what's popping into my head right now is that Natasha Bedingfield song, Release Your Inhibitions, Feel the Rain on Your Skin, and that song Unwritten. And I'll give you an example where I know even when the kids were little, sometimes we'd go and watch Brock at soccer or football, and I would just want to kick my shoes off. and walk barefoot through the grass. I didn't care. And Riley would sometimes say to me, she can be a little bit prudish at times. She's like, Mum, put your shoes on. That's embarrassing. Like, because everybody else has their shoes on. Like little times I've been in the car park, pulled up to, just had to run into the bakery or something. It's pouring down rain and there's water everywhere. I just take my shoes off and I will just run in barefoot, and people, you can automatically feel people are going to think, well, she's a bogan, or how embarrassing, she's got no shoes on. We get conditioned like with what people think of us, and we care too much about what people think of us, so we're too embarrassed. Or we might have these feelings, like you could be walking along the beach and you got clothes on, you don't have your togs, and you want to run in the water. I've done this before. You want to run in the water, but you go, oh, I don't have my togs. Everyone else in their togs. What will people think if I run in the water fully clothed? Who cares? Run in the water. If that's what you want to do, we got to let go of what people think around us and actually do what feels in alignment for us, what we feel in the moment to moment, by releasing our inhibitions, because this embarrassment, this worrying what people think, it blocks you from really tuning into your senses. You might work in like an all male environment. Like we were at a funeral yesterday, and a couple of the family members are, corporate lawyers, architects, high-end corporate. It was kind of inner city. And I saw all the corporate people come in, and I could see some of the women there very masculine. And this is no disrespect. Like this is just observation, right? Very masculine, we have to I could just see this sense of you've got to, I guess, feel like you have to stand in your power by being a little bit more masculine. If you work in an environment like that, if you're surrounded by all men, that it blocks you from connecting with your sensuality because you're worried what people think because of the environments that you're in. And so that can be a big block for you. And speaking of that, like being at work or being in these busy day-to-day lives, we feel like we don't have time. It's not productive to stop and look at the sun, or to stop and take a walk in the water barefoot, or I don't have time for that, because we're conditioned in this culture at such a fast pace. We get conditioned to, our nervous system survives in this state of constant stress, that we don't value being, because it's seen maybe as weak, it's seen as being non-productive, it's seen as being lazy, it's seen as being like we should have better things to do or more important things to do, that we don't value being and enjoying our own presence and being in our own skin. And but you know what happens when you get more connected to your senses? You actually slow down. It makes you more creative. It gives you more clarity. It makes you more productive because you've allowed a bit of time to slow down and have rest. It gets you connected with more ideas. That all of these things help with your work. It helps with you, working with people, being a leader, being in a work environment. It just helps you in everyday life, that we block ourselves because we don't believe that there's value in being connected to our senses. And we I guess we get conditioned to live from logic. We get conditioned to live from the mind as opposed to living from the heart. And the divine feminine superpower of intuition, of sensuality, girls, it's not weak. We don't have to compete with men. We don't have to strive to fit in. We don't have to keep up all the time. Okay, girls, so funny story. I was down at the jetty recording and my phone just died, and it said temperature too hot. Oh my goodness. Damn Mercury retrograde. Everything's been happening at the moment. I couldn't get my printer going this morning to print out my notes. We were watching something last night. It kept dying, like tech has been dying. And that's when I start to just notice what is going on around, and we are in the middle of a Mercury retrograde at the moment, which can does affect your technology, but also the sun. It was just too hot out in the sun. And it's just been one of those mornings, but that's okay, because I will just continue. I'm not going to redo it all over again and make it perfect. I will just tack this on and continue where I left off. And what I was finishing off saying was talking about logic and talking about how, do you know what happens if you're so logical and if you're being in your mind constantly? It actually suffocates your soul. So being in your senses, it helps to connect you more with your soul, living from that heart space, living from more of a feeling space. But you can't abandon the logic and intellect altogether, right? Because we need that, and we use them to serve the desires of the heart. So we use them together. And what I want to go through with you now is, I guess, a bit of the how. How, you might be saying, okay, it's all well and good for you, but what about me? How can I become a bit more softer? How can I become a little bit more sensual? How can I get in my body and get a little bit more connected with my body? And I'm going to share some, I'll rattle off a list of ways that you can, and just take out of these which ones resonate with you and which ones you feel comfortable giving a go. And then you can listen to this episode again and try other ones, or just give yourself permission to explore, to have curiosity, to experiment. And you will be amazed when you get out of your head, get into your heart, and just have this, go through life with this curiosity and this experience and experiment mindset, as opposed to perfection, as opposed to doing everything right, doing it the right way, doing it the way you've always done it, doing it the way other people do it. Let go of all that and just start exploring and experimenting and just see what feels good for you, because that's what it's about. Getting connected with your senses is learning, what feels good for me that I can do. And I don't do all of these things every single day. I just feel into what I need moment to moment, but these are some ideas, okay? So how you get more sensual is being more present in your body, accepting the sensations, accepting, it's basically, it's awareness, because it's not going to feel good all the time, but just having this awareness of how am I feeling in my body right now? What emotions are coming up? Letting your body ride through the emotions. There's no good or bad emotion. It's about having awareness of them, but also just allowing yourself to feel how you need to feel. Like if you need to cry, cry. And that's really tuning into your emotions, having emotional intelligence, tuning into your senses of what do I need in the moment. Accept your body for the way it is, girls. Just starting to learn to love on it and accept it the way it is right now. Accepting the so-called flaws, whether it be cellulite, scars, acne, like whatever it is that you perceive as maybe something wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. Just learning to accept your body right now exactly as you are. Doing things that feel more present in your body, like sleeping naked in beautiful sheets, and just feeling sensations on your skin, feeling fabrics on your skin. Well, I'm speaking of that, wearing things that make you feel nice, whether it's feminine, whether it's goddess-like, whether it's just how you want to feel. It's almost like the character you want to feel, or how you want to feel in the moment. And for me, getting back to more me is I like that kind of element of feeling a bit feminine, a bit flowy. So wearing things that you feel, dress the way that makes you feel good, that makes you feel like a goddess, that makes you feel the fabrics on your skin, the style that you wear, the colors, tuning into what colors you feel like wearing on a particular day, the fragrance of the perfume that you pop on, how it makes you feel, necklaces, that little bit of jewelry, whatever helps you feel more you like and feel more. Don't give up on yourself, girls. Like really dress and present yourself and step out into the world, because it's about how it makes you feel. It's not about brands, it's not about looking a certain way, it's not about having to present an ego. It's about how your clothing, how your accessories, how your hair, how your softness, how the fabrics, how everything makes you feel, and learning to embody more of what you feel in the moment. Nature is like God's healing power. Getting out in salt, like salt water, ocean, salt water, bodies of water, they are healing, they are nourishing, they cleanse you, but also I love to do, and I'm probably going to do this today because it's a nice high tide, it's beautiful and calm, is I love just getting out in the water and just floating. I just float like a starfish and just float on my, on my back. And I do this all the time, and I just go, God, it feels so nice to be in my body. I feel the sun on my skin. Like we went jet skiing the other day and around to this beautiful little spot that we sometimes go to. There's no one around there. And I just float and just feel so present and feel the water on my skin, feel the coolness of how it cools my body down. Even skinny dipping. I can't skinny dip anymore because we don't have a pool. Like our backyards are all open, all out into the broad water. Like we don't have fences between our neighbors along here. It's very expansive, very open. And But sometimes there have been places where we've gone around for a little secret jet ski. I might take my top off and go, there's no one around, and go for a little bit of a skinny dip and feeling what it feels like, the freedom in your body. And that's where sometimes, like at home in our last house, I might skinny dip and Riley would kind of open the door and she'd be like, oh my God, mum. And I'm like, babe, it's a natural human body. You know, I don't do it when the kids were around. Riley, I didn't care so much, but you know, it just teaching the kids, like, it's a natural human body, and feeling experiences in your body is okay. Stop and smell flowers, feel the sun on your skin, ground, like get your feet barefoot in the grass, barefoot in mud, barefoot on the sand, wherever you are, you know, get more and more connected with nature. You know, like just sitting under, just looking at a beautiful tree, just standing there and or walking under it going, gee, that's beautiful. Walking past on my walks, I smell the gardenias, or I'll pick up frangipanis and I'll bring them home and I'll just place them around the home. And you know, there's even times there's a neighbor who's really lovely and his frangipani tree's like in his backyard a bit, but there's no back fence because he's on the water. And he said to Riley, like, say to me, because I'll run in and just scoop up a few frangipanis, it's only like, you know, maybe a few meters in his yard. Riley's like, Mum, you can't go in his yard. I'm like, babe, stop worrying about everything. He said it's okay. I've spoke to him before, and he's like, he sees me picking them up when they're on the outside of his yard, and he's like, come in and get them whenever you want, because I don't have a frangipani tree yet. So let go of inhibitions of worrying what people think, of, you know, smelling the flowers, placing them around your home, bringing plants in, bringing that beautiful nature into your home is really sensual, and it's really, really calming. When you go out, one of the reasons I love jet skiing so much out in nature, it's not because of the ski, it's because of what it provides me with, you know, like the wind in my hair, just looking all around, seeing the beauty all around, feeling the sun on your skin. So those beautiful environments outside, how can you get out in nature a lot more? Because the feminine loves to be nurtured by Mother Earth in her elements. It enhances your senses, laying on the grass, and again, letting go of what people think. Sometimes I will lay in the grass, like out in the backyard, starfishing, like just laying on the grass, and you worry about, oh, it's going to make me uncomfortable, it's going to make me itchy, whatever. Just stay there for a little bit. Feel the grass on your skin. Get connected with nature. I will pat Kira. She'll lay beside me. I'll pat her. I'll lay on the grass. I don't care what the neighbors think, and feel the sun on my skin and go, God, it feels so good to be in my body right now. It just feels absolute bliss. And going with those moments when you feel you want to do it, do it. Speaking of bringing like fragrance and flowers and plants in your home, bringing more nature in your home, what else can you do? Because the femininity flourishes in these beautiful sensual environments. So what else can you do in your home? It could be oils or candles or incense or sage or particular artwork or colors or things that bring you joy. Bring them into your home, because again, it's tantalizing your senses. Foods that you eat, like food, really pause and eat your food, taste your food, sip your drinks, like really embody the foods and slow down when you're eating. But just slow down more, consciously slow down, move at a slower pace, go on mindful walks. Yes, it's good to have brisk walks, get your heart rate up, but every now and then go for a mindful walk where you can smell things, be aware of things, go for that slower pace. This is where like the slower pace is so important, to avoid the hustle, avoid rushing all the time. Notice your breath, notice when you're getting heightened. How can I slow down that little bit? Can you move slower in your exercise? Often so many people go to the gym, they work so hard, they smash their bodies, which is fine, but incorporate movement that is going to slow you down, whether it's yoga or Pilates. Well, Pilates doesn't slow you down, but movement that's going to help slow you down and get you more connected, like stretching, really beautiful slow movements. And speaking like of yoga and Pilates, like they teach you to be more connected to your body. That's what we teach in class. Even in bar, I'm like, girls, go to the beat of the music. I want you to be mindful, feel the beat of the music, move to the beat, because it teaches you mindfulness, it teaches you sensuality, it teaches you to be in your body. Move your hips, feel your hips moving. All of those things I'm cueing the girls with. Certain poses, how do you feel? Certain stretches, what do you feel releasing? Get connected with your body. The gym does not teach you that. There's nothing wrong with the gym, but also incorporate movement practices that are going to get you connected with your body and build that communication with your body. Because a lot of movement environments, gyms, they're predominantly, there's a lot of competition, they're competitive, they're masculine, which again is fine, but bring some feminine movement into your practices as well. And yoga's strong, girls. Like yoga, Pilates, and bar
It's strong, it builds muscle, it strengthens you, but it teaches you to get connected to your body and become mindful and present, and teaches you to get more connected to your senses. When I go on Bali retreats, when I take the girls on retreats, I'm giving you experiences that are getting you connected to sensuality. It's not all talks, it's not all workshops. I'm putting you in environments where you're getting connected with your sensuality and where you have experiences of slowing down and being, so then you feel how good it is that you want to incorporate it into your day-to-day life. What about self-care? Warm baths, beautiful sensual baths with salts, massage, all the things that get you connected to your senses with self-care. Incorporate it in your week. Start your mornings in silence. Start your mornings. Get up early. Find some time in the morning or even at nighttime, where you just sit and you just take it in, mindfully sip your raw cacao, your cuppa, and just sit and just take it all in and just notice, what do you see around you? Being more mindful, being more present. What do you hear? What do you see? What can you smell? Like getting connected with your senses, and nature is the most powerful way to do that. So cherishing those beautiful mornings of silence and those moments, or just beauty in general, being grateful, like the gratitude. I'm so grateful to feel the sun on my skin right now. I'm so grateful I'm here swimming in the ocean. I'm so grateful for that touch of a lover. Like I'm so grateful for that kiss of a loved one. Really holding people, touching people, being mindful and present. Like I say to Brock, hug me until, don't just, I've taught him, hug your mother. Actually hug people and feel the hug and let go when they let go. Like really feeling that embrace with people and cherishing those mindful little moments of a holding of a hand or a gentle, tender kiss. Those little sensual moments, cherishing them is going to build more strength and build more sensual, just that, like, it's almost like a muscle. The more you do it, the more you build it, the stronger it gets, and the more aware of it that you are. Get out of your comfort zone, girls. Unleash your inner wild woman. Live in more of a free-spirited way. Live more freely, live more playfully, live more spontaneously, releasing your inhibitions, doing what feels good for you in the moment. Let go of the plans. Be open to flow. It helps you in your whole life. It helps you in your day-to-day life. It helps you with your work. It helps you in the bedroom. It helps you in everyday life when you live with more sensuality and more presence and more mindfulness, when you're connected with your senses. Get back to like what it was like to be a kid. Play with kids. Be playful. Teach your kids the beauty of life and to really experience it, because what you do inspires others to live more freely and to live more lovingly and to live more joyfully and to embrace more of life. Be the leader. You do it first. You will teach your husband. You will teach your partner. You will teach your kids. You will teach your grandkids. You will teach people around you, but you have to do it first. Your partner might be a hard egg to crack, but that's okay. Just live more of that wild, free-spirited women, and I'm telling you, your partner will love it anyway. Give them time. And just wrapping things up, girls, like I've thrown a whole lot at you today about why, about how, about our blocks, but I just want to wrap up by saying, like your divine feminine sensuality is your superpower. When you awaken that in your body, you learn to love on your body. You accept your body. You want to love on yourself. You want to love on your body more. And you feel this need to awaken more of your sensuality, because they go hand in hand. The more you awaken your sensuality, the more you get connected to it, the more you start to get more accepting in your body. You get more aware of your body. You start to like your body. You start to love what it feels like to be in your body as opposed to what it looks like, because we're so conditioned to how we present or how things look. But what's more important is feeling, right? That energy in motion, emotion, feeling energy. And that's what happens when you get more connected with your sensuality. And girls, like a woman who takes pleasure in her senses and who takes pleasure in her body and in her life and lives this sensual way of being, this way of life, like that is true embodiment of what it feels like to be in your body. You live with more freedom, you live with more joy, you live in your heart more deeply. And you know, like what I like to look at is, do you dare to be different? Do you go with mainstream and how most people are? Or do you dare to be a little bit different and take a little bit more bolder, authentic, trusting way of life, to be a little bit more free, a little bit more spontaneous, a little bit more in your body, a little bit more in love with life, less planning, more living. You can choose the juicier approach to life. And the choice is yours, girls. It's up to you how you want to live. And I'm telling you, getting more connected with your sensuality will open you up to more of an exploration, more playfulness, more creativity, more zest for life. That, it's like you unleash your inner wild woman. And she is amazing. She is fierce. She is wild. She's free spirited. She is like dying on the inside to get out. And it's up to you to help free her by taking it back to some of the simple steps that I've taught you. And the more you do, the more freer and untamed that she gets. And girls, it's time to get a little bit more wild. It's time that you dare to live a bit more creatively from your heart and learn to thrive more than thrive more than survive. And I want to leave with you, like, how can I ask yourself this question every day? How can I truly embody and experience being a little bit more in my body today? What's one thing that you can do to be a little bit more embodied today, a little bit more in your body today, to live more of a embodied experience today? Ask yourself that every day. One thing, girls. I will leave that with you. So much love for you. And I will see you in the next episode, angels. Mwah.